Going live. I am live. Welcome to this recording. I am running over to our website to post a link to today's activity. Yeah, our website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and you should go there and pick up the sheet music and all of the other delightful things that are on that website. And then you should come listen to this recording. It is 12:59, so we will be starting class in about 6 minutes. So if you are watching the recording, you should feel free to jump on ahead a few minutes, and that way you're not sitting here watching me greet everybody as they come in, which might not be a terrible thing to do. Let me make sure the link is working properly. Go here, click here, and it opens up to me. There we go. All right, so we're all set. Caleb, you're in. What? How exciting! Good to see you, buddy. Uh, Caleb is one of my great buddies who started off on a ukulele when he was a little kid. I think it was a green ukulele, if I remember right. And then now he's a baritone player and a legit musician, and been doing amazing things. Also, a heck of a sportsman, and just all around great guy. Glad to see you, Caleb. Red, you already did. She already did her job. Red, on the other hand, is nothing but trouble. That's the other thing. Hey, Lynn, welcome in. I know you missed yesterday, Lynn. What the heck? Where were you? Off being down at the Jersey Shore, picking a fight with what's her name? What was her name? Snooky, I think. Uh, it's a joke, right? Probably if you're in New Jersey, you're tired of that joke. Let's see. Lindy is here. Computer problem. Yeah. Luckily, you're the only one with computer problems, Lindy. Now all the rest of us are just nailing it, right, with computers. I honestly have had more trouble with computers since the before time, and it's crazy. Let's see. I'm going to turn that off. That's probably annoying. Renee made it in, checking in from Lakewood. Renee, I got your email. I didn't have a chance to write you back yet. Fran is in from SoCal. That's where everybody, if in a perfect world, everybody would live in SoCal, right? It's absolutely amazing down there. Vic is in. Hey, Vic, good to see you. Lynn is here celebrating my friend's birthday, and we are at the show. Oh, you were at the show. How funny. You didn't pick any fights, did you, Lynn? Let's see. Gary and Diane are here. We like the bear. I know the bear is going to be a permanent addition to our website there. I drew him back in the day. I really enjoyed drawing little cartoons and drawing and this sort of stuff, and I was okay. at it. But when I started this, obviously, then that took a backseat, and I haven't drawn really since then. But when that bear was sort of the end of the line of me doing some drawing, and I thought, I should use that bear for something. So he's on the website now. Yeah. Let's see. Evelyn is in 74 and sunny with no smoke in Cuenca. Yeah, see, Evelyn knows about our smoke problem here in Colorado. With all the mountains are on. The entire western United States looks like it's in trouble with the fires and smoke and all this stuff. So it's not pleasant around here. Carol is in. Everybody is warm. Yes, Carol actually lives up in the mountains, so she is probably smelling it even worse than we are here in the city. And yeah, so thanks for being here, Carol. Hopefully you're not in the direct line of anything. Jack is in from Illinois. On board there. Somehow they're managing to stick together and play ukulele at the same time. You guys are going to be all set when it comes time for orchestra and we have half chords and half melody, right? You guys are going to be in great shape. Terry's in from Denver, and Terry knows what's going on. Marie is in from Broomfield, which is just up the street. It's yesterday we had 100 degrees, and we set a record by 2 degrees yesterday, so it's crazy hot around here. Christine is in from Bozeman. Bozeman's beautiful all of the time. It's always perfect in Bozeman. Pauline, Smoky Skies from lightning strikes in California. So oh, really? They're already evacuating out of the Santa Cruz Mountains. Yeah, that's it's interesting how the news media handles different stuff. If California's on fire, it is on the news. If Colorado or one of these other western states is on fire, they got to have a slow news day to put us on. But yeah, the whole western United States, super scary. You wouldn't want to be here today. Oh, you're 103 in SoCal. Oh, well, no, we don't want that. Let's. I think Evelyn has the right choice down there in Cuenca. I think she's got it figured out. Let's see, Fran. Hey, Joyce, welcome in. First week of class. Oh, I know MSU started today. I was going to be in those classes, and then I thought, I do not believe that we're going to be able to hang on to be in-person instruction. So I just opted out for this year. And Joyce couldn't have been nicer. But I'm rooting for you, Joyce. We want to make sure that the whole semester just goes just smooth as silk, right? Had a lot of reports of, the other thing is, of course, on the news they want to report, these schools where there's a party. These kids had a party off campus and now they have COVID. It's who knows what's really going on out there. But I'm glad. I'm super delighted to see you, Joyce. Clay is in from Sonoma County. It doesn't seem fair somebody could be from Sonoma County, right? It's sounds a little too perfect to be from there. Sandy, welcome in from the Yoop, and Diane in from Hot Littleton. Yeah, we're all suffering a little bit. So it's not 103 here though, guys. So we'll take it. Hey, we got two new arrangements plus we're going to mess around probably a little bit more with Skaters Waltz. So we got a lot of stuff today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to play any of it, but we're going to try. And I will tell you Traumerei. I'll tell you the whole Traumerei story. Traumerei. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I'll tell you the story of it when we get to it. But let's get out. I've been working on the railroad. This is why we took up ukulele, was to play this song right here. I've been working on the railroad 1894. Okay. I don't know if it was ever a hit. I don't think it was. But it's one of those songs ukulele players play a lot because it shows up in different iterations at various ukulele things. Yeah, it's also a great great song for kids. I used to have this as a one-pager. It all fit on one page, and then somebody around here, who was it? Deb? I think it was Deb, said, I have to have the whole thing. I have to have the Dinah Won't You Blow part, and I have to have the someone's in the kitchen and strumming on old banjo and all that stuff. I need all that stuff. And so I went ahead and added it on for today's workshop. And so now you have the whole thing top to bottom, which, as you know, you were thinking, I need to have the rest of I've been working on the railroad. So you have the whole thing top to bottom in painful detail. We'll play through it 400 times. Traumerei. Traumerei or Traumerei? Traumerei. I'm going to go with Traumerei. Traumerei. Thank you, Joyce. Hey, Chris. The other reason you want to play I've been working on the railroad, ukulele. There's a guy in the Midwest named Warren Buffett. Perhaps you've heard of him. Warren Buffett has a few bucks, and he made it by being an investor. And he lives in a regular house out in Omaha, just a regular dude. But he for a while, he was, I think, #1 richest guy ever. And then now he, of course, things are different. But he is a ukulele player, and he gives a lot of ukuleles to the Boys and Girls Club there in Omaha. And he's certainly not an accomplished ukulele player, but he's fine. He's been playing it a long time. He's very pro ukulele, and so Warren Buffett's one of our guys. And a few years back, he bought a whole bunch of railroads in North America, and people were like, I don't even know why you would do that. That seems nuts. But if Warren Buffett does it, you just ask him why, and then he tells you, and he's probably right, and you're probably wrong. But one of the things that he did, he was actually on Chinese television, and they were interviewing him, and they said, hey, we hear that you are a musician. And he goes, yes, I am. And he takes his ukulele out and he sings, I've been working on the railroad. So if you're ever interested, just go to YouTube, type in Warren Buffett ukulele, and that video will come up of Warren Buffett playing I've been working on the railroad on Chinese television. I don't know why I find that amusing and interesting, but I find it amusing and interesting. So and he didn't do the whole song. You have the whole song. Plus, we're going to do it instrumentally. You can sing it, you can strum it, you can plug it. We got the railroad covered. Now, let's see who else dropped in. Oh, Maria's in. Oh, she needs her banjolele. This is a perfect banjolele song. There are no songs that are perfect banjolele songs. Let's be clear. If you're ever picking up a banjo, you're making the wrong decision. But yeah, heck yeah, grab your banjos and play this one. And then and Jana's in from Texas. Okay, Vicky's in from Bozeman, and Kat's in. All right, we got all of our PhD candidates and PhD real people in. So now we have to stop talking smart. All right, let's get going. I've been working on the railroad. 3 chords, right? A, D, E7. So A, index, middle. Okay, D chord. That's this one. Bum, bum, bum. That's how you know if you have a big enough ukulele. Okay. By the way, gentlemen and ladies with bigger hands, we're going to start doing baritone next week, right? And time slot right after this one, 2 o'clock time slot. If your hands don't fit on here, they don't fit on here. There's just no getting around it. You might want to think about, hey, I'm going to go grab a baritone and I'm going to give it a try. Baritones are cheap. Baritones do not sound as good as guitars, but they sound pretty nice, and they're much easier to play. And so you're going to have a full-blown resource there for baritone ukulele. People have been asking me about that for years and years and years, and I'm always like, I'll get to it. Well, I'm getting to it. Okay, so if you have an interest in playing baritone, the nice thing about baritone is it's tuned exactly the same as a guitar. It's just missing 2 strings. So you can play all guitar music, all of the chords and all of the tablature for guitar. You can play on a baritone without changing anything. It's just ready to go. And of course, they have a lot more with that stuff than they do ukulele stuff. So your repertoire can get pretty big pretty fast. It's just as easy to play as a ukulele. The problem is that this chord on ours is an A, and on a baritone it's an E, and so you have to get used to having either baritone brain or ukulele brain. When I'm teaching in the studio over there, depending on who's sitting in front of me, I have to go, oh, now I've got to have baritone brain on or whatever. So and the other nice thing about baritone is, and those of you who have low G, you know how lovely this is. Instead of a high string here, it's got a low string here. It gives you a chance to sound a little bit more full and pretty. Now, those of you who don't have a low G, please don't get the notion I'm recommending you switch to low G. That isn't it at all. I'm a high G fan. I believe in high G. I think this is what makes it a ukulele. I'm not against low G. I just don't. I just think that there's a time and a place for it, and it's not here and it's not now. All right, let's. I did give you a little bit fancier version of this. I added in a couple of extra chords to make it prettier. So measure 7. You have a B7 bar chord here, middle finger there. Pass the time, and then your E7. Way. Okay. And then at measure 12, this is a totally optional chord, but it sounds awesome. You put a bar on 1 and here. So remember, we have D7 that shows up pretty often. Now you got a C sharp 7 or D flat 7. We always call it, in ukulele, we always call it C sharp. Okay. Rise up so early in the morning. And then you're going to go, okay. So you have those are your chords. I don't think I added in any other ones. Other than that. So yeah, so let's go ahead and give this, let's sing it, okay? And as you know, when I sing, you should close your ears, okay? Give it a try. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been working on the railroad all the livelong day. 2, 3, 4. I've been working on the railroad just to pass the time away. 3, 4. Can't you hear the whistle blowing? Rise up so early in the morn. 2, 3, 4. Can't you hear the shout and shout? 10. Dinah, blow your horn. That's a fast one. Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Someone's in the kitchen, I know. Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. And you're going to hold hold it there. A lot of times you can do this, right? E7, strumming on the old banjo, 2, 3, singing fee, fi, fiddly-I-O, fee, fi, fiddly-I-O, oh, oh, fee, fi, fiddly-I-O. E7, strumming on the old banjo, strumming on the old banjo, strumming on the old banjo. We haven't talked about it in a long time, so we ought to talk about it. This song gives you a chance to do tremolo 3 times. Very exciting, right? So if you haven't done tremolo before, you haven't been successful with it before, open palm. Okay, this is going to give you the counterbalanced weight that you need, and then this is your plectrum. If you ever study lute, they talk about a plectrum. Okay, fancy word for pick. Okay, so that's that. Okay, and then it's not your elbow that's going to go down here. It's not fast enough. Okay, it's in your wrist. You're going to do it like you're turning a doorknob or flicking oil off of your fingers or something like this, right? And so you're going to take this open palm, plectrum out. Okay, so grab your chord. Okay, let's do an A chord, and then just notice it's all on my wrist. We sold our house. Congratulations, Valerie. You sold your house. That's exciting, right? Well, I think it's exciting, right? Sometimes selling your house can be super sad. Okay? But yeah, you want to, right? Now you pack up and you're going to move to Denver, right? So we can hang out. That's your plan, I hope. All right. There's this. Okay. Now, 3 places. Strumming on the old fiddly-I-O, strumming on the old banjo. Okay. And then if you go to a ukulele strum along, hopefully they still do this. I don't know if all of you guys do this, but ours does. Every single song ends in a tremolo, whether it's appropriate or not, right? And then I'm going to teach you one other thing that I teach my students, and just so you know, it's very exciting. Okay, you get to the end, raise your hand up. I always tell them, when I'm teaching little kids, I make them raise their hand all the way up, and then you come back down with the Eddie Van Halen finish. When you teach little kids this, okay, those of you who are a bit iffy on little kids, let me show you what happens. You do this, and then they have the boys go all this, and then the boys bring down their hands really hard, and they wrap their knuckles on the top of this. It goes, bam, ow, and you can usually look around, and usually one of them going, ow, I didn't do that right. It hurts their fingers. So nothing wrong with hurting a little kid every once in a while, right? When they're making music and they're being Eddie Van Halen. And I always say my favorite one is, okay, and we're going to do the Eddie Van Halen finish. And then I stop and I wait and I go, does anybody know who Eddie Van Halen is? And nobody ever knows who Eddie Van Halen is. So there you go. So you got 3 opportunities for tremolo. Okay. Also, pay attention. Measure 43. You're playing all 8th notes. Measure 43. I put in quarter notes to slow you way down. Strumming on the old banjo. Okay, so make sure you make yourself a note probably along there. Otherwise, you'll race right through that measure just like the other measures. And so measure 43, you get the full thing. Also, another thing to do on this one, trade out the word for banjo with ukulele. Okay, strumming on the old ukulele, singing fee, right? So change that out. Let's see, who else can you do? Let's see, Renee. Just curious about. Oh yeah, where are you moving to, Violet? Indiana. Oh, very nice. Okay. All right. Indiana. All right. Indiana. I don't know anything about Indiana. I know Bobby Knight was there. That's my complete knowledge of Indiana. All right. Melody. You ready? Let's play the melody. Okay. And guys, those of you thinking about joining us on Monday nights, I'm wanting to just give you a couple of heads up. Number one, it's going to be fun, and you're going to learn to play chords and melody only, right? We're not doing tough uke on Monday nights necessarily. We will talk about it. We will maybe play through a little bit of that. But Monday nights are going to be about getting you up to speed for ensemble play. And so when we're doing tough uke, we're always slowing it down, adjusting the tempos. The hard parts we're playing a little differently maybe than the easy parts. We're always looking for beautiful, perfect tonality and that sort of stuff on Tough Uke. When we're playing orchestral style, we throw that out the window. That's what piano players do. They get to play Tough Uke. They get to play beautiful, and they're the whole show and the whole thing. But when you're an orchestra, timing is everything, and you got to play in proper timing. And so on Monday nights, we'll be working on that a lot of times. In low, when you study Tough Uke and you think, yeah, I'm a pretty decent ukulele player, and then you go play with other people, and you just can't quite keep up. And so over the next couple of months on Monday night, that's what we'll be working on, is getting you up to speed and where you really understand how to be a part of an ensemble experience. And so we'll be playing this stuff much faster and much more consistent pacing and all of that. And I will be teaching you how, those of you guys who have no group out there, you're going to have to start your own little group. I'm going to give you some suggestions on how you go about conducting other people when you are a player, as well as if you are just a plain old leader. I'll give you some suggestions on how you run that. And then also, if you are in a group and how to behave properly, right? One of the challenges that all musicians have is that egos get in there. And I noticed that even in our group, that we have a really tremendous group of people, but you get people into smaller groups and sort of egos start to show up a little bit. And it's never to the benefit of the music ever. It's always to the benefit of the players. And so it just is so we'll be talking about all that stuff on Monday nights. I think for you, the big thought is, I'm going to get way faster. I'm going to be able to read tablature like nobody's business. And I'm going to understand how to keep proper pacing even when I blow up. Okay. And so that's what Monday nights for the next couple months. We'll do end of August 1 week. And then September and October, we'll be doing just a lot of just chord or melody type playing. And then if we could ever get together, we would sound amazing, but we won't be doing that. Okay. So that's what we'll be doing in the fall. Do we need to audition? Of course not. Here's the thing with auditions, and guys, you got to know me, right? At this point, you're probably getting where you're pretty like, yeah, I get Gary. I do absolutely this, and I shouldn't even say this. I am so sick of the elitism in music. I can't. It makes me want to throw up, because I don't think music is meant to be that way. We need some music to be that way. We need to know who the best guy is. Like, we need to know who the best piano player. We need to know who the best ukulele player is. We need to know who the best of all of these people are. And we want occasionally, we want to go to a symphony that's the best, right? And it's like in town we have the best symphony. And once in a while you go there and it's like, oh, those guys are awesome. We need some of that. But for the most part, we don't need that. We really don't. We need everybody making music. We need you to be not a music consumer, but to be a music producer. And this is what this is for. And so I've never held an audition. I don't care if you're any good. I don't care if you're terrible. I really honestly don't. I care if you're working to get better. And that's all we're working on. That's what I'm working on. It's what we all should be working on. And so we need to play music with each other. I know, right? So let's keep that business of this sense of joy and optimism. When you're terrible, you're terrible. We admit it, and we work on getting you better. When you think you're really good, I find proof that you're not, and we work on getting you better, right? When you are really good, I don't know, maybe you're not hanging around with me anymore. I don't know. But no, I have a lot of players who are phenomenal, who are way better players than I am, that I work with. And they're just trying to get better. That's true of all of us. Okay. And so this business of tryouts, there is a place and time for that. I hope there's never a time for this instrument, because this is about the people, right? Let's see. Who else? Did I miss anything? Okay. So that was a long discussion with Pauline. All right. Alina, Turkey. How exciting. Turkey. So delighted you're here, Alina. Elena, is that how we would say that? Elena or Alina in from Turkey. So delighted you're here. That's very exciting. It's probably a crazy hour in Turkey, isn't it? Isn't it like 3 a.m. or something for you? Let's see. Q, dozens of fires. Oh yeah, Q is in a really bad place. All right. So let's play the melody. Okay. Hopefully you know the song. If you don't, you're about to learn one of the great songs of all time. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 2, 4. Oh, 5, 5, oh, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 2, 4. Oh, 4, 4, 4, 2, 2, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, oh, oh. 5, 5, 5, oh, oh, 2, 2, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, oh, 4, oh, 2, oh, 4, 4, 5, 4, 2, oh, 2, 3, 4, oh, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, oh, 2, 4. Oh, 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 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 4, oh, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, oh, 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 4, 4, 4, 4, oh, 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 2, 4, 2, oh, 4, 4, 4, 4, oh, 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 5, 9. Where's 9? There it is. Sorry, I blew it. 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 2, oh, oh, 2, 4, 4, oh, 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 4, 4, oh, 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 2, 4, 2, oh, 4, oh, 5, 5, 5. 9. I can't find 9. 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 2, oh, 2, 3, 4. 7, 7, 7, 7, 5, 2, oh, 2, 3, 4. 7, 7, 7, 9, 11, 12. All right. So it turns out my 9 is right there. If I would remember that, then I would have probably sounded a whole lot better, right? So you got to know where your 9 is all of a sudden, right? You're there, you're going along going, oh, I totally got this. And then 9 shows up. So sorry about the 9s. It's right before, because I have this fancy doodly-doo on here. I hate it when they do this. They put the fancy doodly-doo on here. And in my head, that's supposed to be on 10, but it's on 12 on this one, which is why you put a fancy thing there. I don't know why I have that in my head. All right. That's the melody. Sort of. I don't think I have anything to add to that. All right, let's go down to the tough uke. Let's see what other things that people have said. Yeah, Q. Oh, geez, Q. That's brutal. True. Maybe next year we can all swoop into Denver for our own Uke Fest. Let's do it. We have a Uke Fest here in Denver, and I went for Uke Fest 1 through 9. I attended every year. I attended every single day. I went to every single thing for 9 years in a row. And then on the 10th year, I thought, it's the same as every single year. It's exactly the same thing. So I stopped, right? I think I get credit, right? Nine in a row, perfect attendance, 100% involvement. And then I decided I'd had enough of it. It's put on by our big folk music school here in town. They do a very nice job. I think everybody ought to go to one Uke Fest, right? They're all the same. They're all exactly the same every year. But it gives you a chance. The nice thing about ukulele is you get to hang out in the hallways with the stars of ukulele. And believe me, it's a very small world. So, but you get to just hang out in the hallway and talk to all these people that you have seen on YouTube or gotten to know for one way or another. So they are kind of fun to go to. So, go to a guitar convention and try to talk to somebody famous in guitar. It probably isn't happening, right? You'll get to talk to some old guy who plays a lot of jazz, and they're lovely, but they're not who you really want to talk to. All right, let's play the tough uke, we don't want to go near as fast, right? Because when we're playing straight melody or just the chords, we can really clip along at a really nice pace. And then when we get to the tough uke, we got a lot more work to do, so we slow it down just a little bit. These concerts are always fun. Kari, what was she? I was just reading about the fires blowing up. Oh, okay, yeah. I try to be really honest with you guys about my feelings on all of the ukulele world. They're always awesome, right? I just don't go anymore because they're all the same. Okay. All right, Kari. I'm not saying don't go. I'm saying go. Just you don't need to go 9 times in a row. All right, here we go. From the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. do here, B7 with your pinky up here on 4. I'm sorry, your ring finger up on ring or pinky on 4, probably ring. On 9, F shape in front. You got it. Slide back to 4 with this pinky. Half speed here. And this is a tough one, right? So you're looking at it going, oh my gosh, what am I going to do here? You're going to go to 7. This is going to be on 8. And this is going to be on 9. So it's the same shape as we did before, but we're on 7. And then a pinky on 11. And then bar on 9, pinky on 12. Okay, so the ending there, obviously you would want to practice that little section there just to make sure you get that right. There's just a couple moments in there where there's some tough stuff in there, and so you would only have to work on those one little sections, make sure you got those memorized, or at least not necessarily memorized, but you absolutely know what you're going to do there. And then you've got another, 3 pages of music that everybody likes to hear. I think this song is fun when you're playing it with other people and you're singing it, to sing it loud and fast and all that stuff. But when you're doing a tough uke arrangement of it, slow it down. Let people think you're doing something really significant and important, and it's a fun piece of music, right? So, and just enough there for those of you who are tough ukers to keep you out of trouble, right? Just enough to keep you busy. Okay, I've been working on the brand new complete arrangement. Just finished it up earlier this week. Let me give you a couple of thoughts on the website and where we're at and what we're doing, and then we'll finish up with our more advanced stuff today. First of all, we're going to have to push off Strauss. It turns out Traumerei. How did Joyce tell me to pronounce it? Traumerei is a whole bunch harder to get onto ukulele than I wanted it to be. The melody is actually pretty cooperative, and so that's what we're going to work on today. But once they start adding in all of the fancies, it gets really messy really fast. And so I wanted us to have one day where we just tackle the melody. A lot of you guys don't know this tune, and so I do recommend on the website, on the front page there, I says, if you don't know this song, go listen to Vladimir Horowitz playing it. By the way, turn the sound way up and just close your eyes. It's amazing. So we're going to play that. We're going to actually just make that our end of the week big piece that we're going to work on. So we'll spend a little bit more time on that and a lot of time on Schrader's Waltz. I've got Franz Liszt I'm working on. I'm going to be bringing him in at some point in the future. I'm working on Strauss, and then I found another Brahms. They all start to run together in my head. I got another Brahms piece that I'm putting together. So it just felt like too much this week to get all of that stuff crammed in. And I thought, you know what, let's just do a good job on Schumann and Waldhofen, and that should be good, right? So we're not getting all those dead white guys, but trust me, there's more dead white guys to come. So don't lose sleep over that. And then on Friday we've got quite a few easier tunes and then a couple of really tough ones. Starting next week, remember 11 a.m. I'm doing harmonica. Now this is my time, so you have to adjust for your time. 11 a.m. I'm doing harmonica, which will be a hoot. It's just silly. 12 noon it's an hour before this time slot is the easier stuff. And so those of you guys that are just getting started or need a refresher or any of that kind of stuff, we'll do that from 12 noon. At 1 o'clock, we got Italian music coming. That's Amore, Santa Lucia, Carnival of Venice, O Sol Mio, and probably Funiculi. I'm planning on that. So those 5 songs I think will be super fun to mess around with. That'll be in this time slot next week. After this time slot, those of you who are interested in baritone, and if you are in a larger group and wherever you live and there's some ukulele players to get together, it's nice to have 1 or 2 baritone players. They really do help anchor the overall sound of your ukulele group. So if you're thinking about starting a group or you're in a group and you're like, you know what, I'm pretty smart. I'm smarter than they are now. Having a baritone player around is a really nice thing to do. In our orchestra, we have about 80 to 100 players, depending on how you count it, and we have probably 15-20 baritones in there, and so it's another chance for you to play something a little bit different and really continue your education. And so that's the ukulele stuff going on next week. And then on Monday nights, we will start orchestra. And I'm going to send you guys out an email, and I'm going to need you to read it kind of a little carefully. It's open to everybody, and it's really designed to help you get where you're fast. And that's one of the things that we don't work on very often when we are working on tough uke stuff. So there's that. I think that's what I need to tell you is going on. And what am I forgetting? Feels like I'm forgetting something. Traumerei. I'm going to get it, Joyce. I will. Let's see. Again, what kind of harmonica should we get? So on the harmonica page, I put some suggestions up, but the 2 that I'm recommending, you can use any harmonica that says C. It has to say C on it. That's the only thing I got. They say C. The other place, they'll stamp it right on the harmonica. On this harmonica, it is stamped right here, and it says C on there. I don't know if you can see that or not. The C stamped on there, and on this one, probably the same place. On this one, there's a C stamped on it, right? And so these are just the little ones. It needs to be in the key of C in order to play along with me. Any harmonica will work. It's just if it's not in the key of C, you'll sound funny. And then if you don't buy one of these yet. Make sure you like playing harmonica. But I will be doing, each week I will be doing one on a chromatic harmonica, which is the one with the button. This is almost $200 or something like this. So don't buy one of those till you're sure that you're having a good time. A 12-hole. But these guys, you can get them on Amazon for about $8-10, right? The Fender one that they recommend, I've never used it, but it's probably fine. But these ones are about $35-40. The Special 20. Okay, that's one of those that I use. And then Marine Band is also really highly thought of. I stopped using my Marine Band because it got dirty and I never cleaned it. So I cleaned it now. It works fine. Rather than cleaning it, I bought another harmonica. That's what I do. And so it's just for fun, right? And it's to help you get your lungs and that stuff working better. We have a tendency in modern life to breathe through our necks, right? and we don't bring our air into here. And so after a while, this system starts shutting down because it figures you don't need it, and then all of a sudden you do need it and it doesn't work. So this will help you breathe much more deeply from your diaphragm and all of that sort of stuff. So it's good for you, right? And they use harmonicas in therapy for people who are dealing with, lung issues and stuff. So that's correct, Joyce, from the German teacher. Yeah. So anyway, that's harmonica, and it'll be fun. And again, you don't have to know anything about music. There's a tablature for harmonica that's written out, and it'll take you about 30 seconds for me to teach you how to play harmonica, and then after that we'll just honk away and it'll be fun. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's see. So that's the harmonica. One of my piano students is working on Traumerei, so this is what. Oh yeah, that's wonderful. It's a beautiful piano piece. It doesn't quite translate onto ukulele, but it'll be fine. Vic, guitar. Yeah, Vic. 3 o'clock my time, which is whatever time your time. We have guitar. Vic and Evelyn have been attending my guitar class, and obviously guitar is super hard, but it's super fun, and it's one of those instruments where you're like, all right, I'm just going to spend the rest of my life trying. Okay, so guitar is also that. Let's see. Yeah, and Kari, by the way, has been married to a lifelong German teacher. They know German. They go to Germany all the time. So if she says it's Traumerei is correct, and it's correct. Let's see. I just learned enough German. Right. What's the difference between a C and a chromatic? So the last thing on harmonica, you didn't come for harmonica today, but the upside down. So these guys, they're called diatonic because they only have some of the white notes on the piano. Okay, so it's got enough. It's got actually one more note than ukulele. Honestly, this little guy has one more note than ukulele, plus a few random notes that are way down lower than the ukulele. So that's what this has. But they're all the white keys. This is only white keys, and so you have to be sort of mindful about which type of songs you play. There can't be any accidentals, and there can't be any sharps or flats, basically, in that. This one has everything. Okay, so this has everything. On this, there's actually, I think it's 4 octaves, so it's half of a piano is what this is. And so you can play all songs on this one. They sound more or less the same. I shouldn't say that. Somebody who likes harmonica is going to lose their mind. But if you want to play more advanced and more complicated stuff and actually read the sheet music and all that stuff, you actually have to have a chromatic to do it properly. There are a couple hundred songs that we can play on the little one though, so you won't run out of tunes. You'll be fine. All right, so that's the difference between a C harmonica, which is just the white notes, and a chromatic, which includes all of the black notes. Okay, so all right, that's enough. All right, that's harmonica. It'll be fun. Just go to Amazon and get one of the two that I recommend, either the Special 20 in C or the Marine Band in C. You can probably order it now and still have it by Monday. Like I said, don't order this one until you're sure you really like playing harmonica. All right, let's take a look at Traumerei. Yeah, that's exactly how it's spelled, huh? Okay, so Traumerei, Schumann wrote a series, I think there were, Joyce, 30, I think, small pieces for the piano. I think he called them memories of childhood or memories from childhood, something like that. So they were shorter pieces meant to be not terribly difficult, but a couple of them are really, really beautiful. And of all of those ones in that book, this is the one that people have really glommed onto as the prettiest and most just pleasant, right? So again, I recommend, if you don't know the tune, go listen to Vladimir Horowitz play it, and then you'll be like, yeah, I want to know that song. I just gave us the melody. We're going to work on that. The two things that you'll need to pay attention to, and we don't talk about this often. I guess we talk about it a little bit, but we don't really do it, right? Which is, I need you to be able to be paying attention to the length of the notes in the standard notation. So if you just read the tablature, there's not enough information there. 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 8, 8. That's not going to be enough for you. Mostly we have eighth notes, right? Mostly we're going to be playing relatively jaunty pace through most of this. But if you rush the quarter notes or you rush the half notes, it's not going to sound right. The other thing to pay attention to, go to measure 6. You'll see a quarter note with a swoosh tied to an eighth note. And so what we want to make sure when we see those ties is that we give that the full value. So that's a quarter note, which is worth 2 eighth notes plus an eighth note. So that 12 there in measure 6 lasts for 3 times as long as the 12 before it and the 10 after it. Okay, so we want to pay attention to let those things go. Scenes from childhood. Okay, that's not. They're not pieces for kids. Yeah, I played them as a relatively accomplished pianist, and they were definitely tough. This one wasn't tough, but some of them in there were really tough. All right, so we'll go through, let's play just the beginning section. It is somewhat repetitive, sort of, and so let's see if we can get at least the main idea down. Let's play through measure 5, okay, so we can get a sense of how we're doing here. And also, those of you who do know the tune, it does not fit on a ukulele, even close, and so there have been decisions made of how to get it to fit, okay? All right, from the top. 1, 2, 3. Hold it and then go. Hold it. 7, 5. Okay, let's stop there. That theme is going to repeat over and over and over through the piece. There's one section right toward about 2/3 of the way through where it's completely different, but for the most part, the basic theme repeats over and over. So you want to get that solidly in your heart and your head so that it makes some sort of sense to you. At the end of measure 4, that 2020, that's where I had to reduce because it drops way down below because he's going all off of his left hand there. When I give you the tough ukified version of this, it'll include a little more depth in there, and so just playing the melody, it sounds a little thin there, but don't worry, we're going to make it fancier. Okay, so let's play just that section again. Okay, from measure 1, or from 0, I guess. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 8, 8. 7, 5, 3, 8, 3, 0, 1, 5, 1, 3, 0, 3, 3, 2, 0, 2, 0. Okay, so far not too bad, right? The one thing I noticed as I'm playing is I'm having to stretch way out, and so I'm having to pay a lot of. So right now my sheet music is right dead underneath where my neck of my ukulele is. So those of you guys that were playing at your kitchen table, and you put the sheet music up over here next to the computer, you may want to think about getting a music stand, an official one, and then have that. Basically, when I play all of the time, I always have my sheet music essentially underneath here. Okay, it does a couple of things. If I'm performing for an audience, I can turn this way a little bit, and they can see me better, and I can see my music, and everybody's happy. Hopefully, I'm not using sheet music if I'm performing for an audience, but don't kid yourself, I do. And then memorize it. It is not worth memorizing everything. And then but it allows me to look at the music and then look at where my hands are a little bit easier. So one of those things to think about. I'm stretched way out here, and it's going to get worse because I got to be at 12s and 3s and all over the place. I went through and I thought about readjusting some of the fingering, but that gets very individually focused, and so I don't often set the fingering up for you the way I think you should do it. But there are those of you who know what I'm talking about. You can maybe minimize some of your work by changing your fingering just a little bit. But I think honestly, this thing's all over the place, so you might as well just kind of deal with it. Okay, from the top, 1, 2, 3. arpeg in, and you'll notice it feels a whole lot the same. The next theme from 5 through 9 is going to feel a whole lot like the first theme, but it's going to go all the way up to 12. So make sure you know where your 12 is. We got those big long 12s up there, and so we're going to be all over the place on the fretboard. And guys, like I say, those of you who know how to refinger stuff, I definitely had different choices for myself, but I don't think I solved any problems by adjusting them. So that's why I took them back to just straight open notes. From measure 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously much harder to play this section, but the timing is the same as the first section, so getting it right now. And again, when I work on getting the left hand stuff put in here on the tough uke version, some of this will mellow out. Right now, again, it's feeling a little all over the place, a little bit a little artificial in terms of pushing the melody on you. And so just know there's more to come, but I want to get the main melody in your head so that when we add in some of the harmony stuff, it will stick. Okay. So from measure 5 again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Going. Okay, so I believe measure 9 through 12 is identical, is duplicate of 1 through 4. I think all the notes are exactly the same. Okay, let's go on to 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. That feels like an almost exact duplicate of 5 through 8. I'm hoping it is anyway. Okay, now measure 17, things are going to get quite different. Okay, so let's see how we do with that section. One of the ways you can tell he's maybe not changed keys, but definitely changed the overall approach to the key is all of a sudden 6s start going up. Now you think about we've been together now, what, 20 weeks or something. We have hardly ever played any 6s. Okay, and so these 6s are these E flats that show up, and we just haven't played a lot of them. And so all of a sudden you're playing in the key of F, but now E flats are showing up, and you're like, what is going on, right? And it creates this really cool, different feeling to the song, even though the basic idea is still there. It's just a cool variation on it. Okay, so let's go from 17 and see what we end up with. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 3, 6, 6, 0, 5, 2, 5, 3, 1, 5, 3, 0, 1, 3, 1, 0, 3, 5, 3, 0, 3, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so quite a bit different same sort of general flow to the notes, but quite a bit different sounding. Okay, and again, we're sounding pretty thin because we don't have the left hand here yet. You will have that, but we're just getting used to the fact that this song does something really quite different from the rest of the song, even though it feels the same from 17 through 20. So let's do that section one more time, from 17 through 21-ish. 1, 2, 3, 4. Drop in. Okay. Now, measures 21 through 24 through 23, 21, 22, 23 on the piano go way up over here. Okay, we ran out of notes on the ukulele, so I dropped this section an octave, and in order to drop that section an octave, there's one note I had to, like, you think you're going into that high octave, and there's some part of your head that's like, this is going to be awesome, and then you're like, wait a minute, I'm already way up here, I'm going to run out of notes. So I believe the last note of measure 21 actually pulls this song down into an octave that stays on the ukulele, and then we play through, I believe, measure the last note, next to last note of 23, and then we pop back up into the regular octave. So those of you who know the tune know, hey, he's going to go way up here, we're going to run out of notes, so just know, pull it down an octave. And for those of you who are arranging on ukulele, and you should know, you will be doing that. There, you've got an octave and a half on this, and you have 8 octaves on a piano. So you're going to be reducing and adjusting octaves in order to fit stuff on here. It's part of the joy of arranging for this thing. You have to get rid of all of the nonsense and go with the meat of the matter. And that's why this, again, arranging for this instrument is both challenging and fun. And at some point, you're like, that was a dumb song to put on ukulele, or that was an awesome song to put on ukulele. All right, so let's play through that, and then it returns to the main idea. Okay, so measures 21, 1, 2, 3, 4. Longer, bum, ba da bum. Pretty. Okay, so again, tonight, and just getting comfy with the song. If you know the song, you already know what you're dealing with. If you don't know the song, go listen to Horowitz, and then listen to the MP3 of this a few times, play through it a few times, see if you can get the general feeling of the song into your head. And then tomorrow, when we add in a few we're not going to add in a ton of chords on this one. We're not going to like I've been working on the road, blank, blank, right? We'll do it different than that. But we're going to be trying to get it as a little bit more complex and a little bit more, some of those sort of thin areas sussed out. I did want to mention one other thing before you run off. If you have not already downloaded This Little Light of Mine, we're going to do it tomorrow, This Little Light of Mine, I want you to go download it tonight and practice it tonight. I think, and every now and then I get a little spit of ego, I think my version of This Little Light of Mine, which I just finished late last night, is awesome. Okay. I played it through about 400 times, and I'm like, nailed it, right? So I've got a bunch of jazz chords, not a bunch, a couple of jazz chords in there. I tried to just make it as cool as I possibly could. It's not much of the song, but I wanted it to be just really just like, man, I'm so glad I can play instrumental ukulele. And so I think my version of this little light of mine up on the website right now, waiting for you to download, is as good as it's as good as it goes. And so please go take that one. Tomorrow I'll still be having ego about it, because every now and then I hit a home run, and I think I did it on that one. So make sure to download that and take a look at that tonight. And there we go. So Traumerei is going to be a handful, guys, and we will get it where it sounds as, where it really does evoke that piano piece, which is this many octaves, and we're going to get it down onto ukulele where you're going to be proud of yourself for having a fun way to present that song. And so especially people that you guys who know music, you know this tune, and it's a classic, and it'd be lovely to have it as part of your ukulele repertoire. So Q, how do you get on the MP3? Q, over on the website. If you look over if you're looking at the website on a computer, over on the right hand side, there's a column of widgets, and I think the second or third widget down, it says MP3s for all the songs, and you can get the MP3 right there. You can either download it into your phone, or you can just hit play on your computer and listen to it. And so that's where those are. Kari, what measures are actually an octave? 21 through 23. 21 through 23 I had to drop an octave to keep them on the ukulele. Yeah, they didn't go way off the ukulele, but they went a little bit off the ukulele, and so we dropped those three measures. Lindy, you're welcome. Oh, Vita's saying we'll all be German now, right? Right. We have a German who lives down the hall. She's 93, and then the guy who lives a couple doors down next to her, he's this young cool dude, and he is dating a young cool girl, and she's from Austria. So we have a lot of German going on around here these days. All right, Chris, thanks. You bet. Pauline, have a nice day. Kat, think you had a great time. Good. I'm glad you did, Kat. Have fun at school today. I know you guys are getting back at it. It's kind of good. Keep safe. That's, I think, was what I want you to do. It's kind of a tough melody. It's a kind of a tough melody, and it's going to get a little bit tougher when we add in some of that. Hopefully, I'll clean it up as best I can. It's not an easy tune, but it's for those people who like the tune, who know Traumerei. This is something they want to be able to play. So, all right, Red, danke to you. Bitte schon, I think is don't mention it, or bitte. Valerie, see you soon. Congratulations on the sale of your house, Valerie. Good luck with the move. Pack your ukulele last so you can unpack it first, right? It stays sitting on the kitchen counter until the last minute. That's the last thing that goes in the van. Patty, good to see you. Have a great day. Sandy, good to see you, Sandy. Fran, thanks for today. Was challenging as usual. I'm going to keep you busy, right? I'm going to keep it challenging, right? Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. I hope that don't quit playing ukulele because of this, right? We have work around the railroad. Come on, that was fun. All right. Let's see. A little bit challenging. Yep. Sorry, Diane. I know, right? Sometimes I got to beat you up a little. Renee, have a great day. Lynn, good to see you. Be good. If you go to the shore, be good, right? All 21 on the... All 21, Valerie. Valerie, we need to talk. Yeah, you should not have 21 ukuleles. Or maybe 21 musical instruments. Yeah, don't have 21 ukuleles. It's crazy. All right, you guys. I'm gonna end the stream. Have a wonderful day. I'll see all of you mañana.